Hey everybody, Timothy here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Went and saw the movie yesterday and I also saw it today. I'm going to talk about the fight in the void with Deadpool and Wolverine. The first fight they had there in the void. So what you're seeing on screen now is the front cover of the Marvel Superheroes Player's Book. This is from the advanced set. And I'm going to do as you can see, you got Human Torch, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, the Hulk. You got Silver Surfer over there. You got Spider-Man, Iron Man. Back here you got Mr. Fantastic. You got Wolverine, The Thing, Daredevil, Captain America, Thor, She-Hulk, and Nick Fury, who is not a bald black guy in a trench coat. Anyway, yes, I know there is a black Nick Fury out there in the comics. I don't care. So anyway, what I want to talk to you today is about that fight, and the fight starts with, with them getting sent to the void by Mr. Paradox, I believe his name is, and basically Deadpool's laying there, Wolverine comes walking up on him, and Deadpool says, "Hey, you gonna help me up, you big ape?" And Wolverine does his claws, and he's like, "No, never mind, I'm fine." And then at that point, oh, I guess I should warn you, there are spoilers in this video, so if you have not seen the movie, you should probably, I don't know, watch something else, and then come back. So anyway, Wolverine picks him up using his claws. So let's start with that. So how do you attack someone? How do you grab someone? How do you do that in this game? Well, we're going to have to go to the combat section, and I'm going to kind of come down here. If I can find my combat section, it's over here somewhere. And like death and hell, where is it? I think it's in this area here. So yeah, feet. So let's try page 15. No, not that. That's not it. Okay, so first you'd have like an initiative for combat, and basically if you can see right here where I got it, where it says initiative modifier, everyone starts off rolling a 10-sided die for initiative. And basically your initiative, your intuition rank, which is what characters have, and I'll show you the respective characters' stats in a sec here. So basically, if you take a look at Wolverine here, this Wolverine here, I have 4 Wolverines I can show you, by the way. This Wolverine here, this one's in the judge's book. He has a monstrous intuition, MN75 there, okay? So we go back to that little chart there, 75 and up, he adds 6 to his initiative, okay? So let's just say he rolled a 5. Plus 6, he would have an 11. On the other hand, over here, this is out of the regular compendiums, kind of like the who's who of sorts. He also has monstrous here, so he would, if we were using this Wolverine, he'd add 6 to his initiative. This one comes out of the Uncanny X-Men box set, and you see oh, that's Wolverine. This is Wolverine. He also has monstrous over here, so as you can see, the stats are relatively the same. So also add 6, and then this one is out of the X-Forces. So here's Wolverine here, and once again, he has monstrous intuition, so he adds 6 to his initiative. Now, what about Deadpool? Well, the only stats I have on Deadpool are also in this X-Forces book. So we're going to kind of zoom up here to the Ds. A little past him. Here we are, Deadpool. So you see, Deadpool has typical intuition. So we go back to our little chart there. Typical is anywhere from 5 to 7. So, as you can see here, he's in the 0 to 10, so he gets no initiative modifier. So, the only way that Deadpool could beat Wolverine in initiative is if Wolverine rolled like a 1 or a 2, and Deadpool rolled like a 10. So basically, Wolverine's going to go first most of the time out of these two. So, now that we know who can act first and who can go first, so we're going to go ahead and look at the feat roll. So there's types of feats. There's ability feats, power feats, talent feats, popularity feats, resource feats. Okay. So basically, to grab someone or to attack someone, Grabbing and grappling are typically, well, grabbing, like if something's flying through there and you want to snatch it out of the air, that's a grab attack. That's kind of I believe it's an agility feat. Let me zip down here to the chart real quick. What page am I on? 17. Okay. So here's our chart. So you see here grabbing. Oh, I guess it's strength. Never mind. So if you want to grab something, it's a strength feat. If you want to grapple something, that's also a strength feat. Okay. If you want to attack with a blunt weapon, say like a lamppost, that would be a fighting feat. If you want to attack with swords, that's a fighting feat. You want to shoot someone with a gun, that's an agility feat. You want to throw something at someone, that's an agility feat. Throwing blunt, that's I don't know, throwing a rock. I guess that'd be technical. If you're attacking someone with an energy attack, that's an agility feat. Force attacks are agility feats. Escapes, that's like if you're being held by someone, then you can try and do kind of an escape. Charging attacks, it's like if you're going to run into something and smash into them as hard as you can. That's an endurance feat. Dodging is agility, kind of makes sense. Evading is like, you see a guy take a swing and the guy kind of, evades it like that. Blocking is you kind of, you see this a lot in comic books. People, they'll put their hands up and they'll block. That's a strength feat. You have catching. That's what I was talking about before. Something flying through the air, like catching a bullet. That would be agility. Then slams, stuns, and kills. So basically, these you don't worry about until after you've been hit. So let me see if I can find it here. So a blunt attack here. You see yellow is slam and red is stun. So that means if someone hits you and they just hit you with this green, in this green area here. Oh, I guess you can't see my finger. So where I have my mouse here, this green area. So the green area represents just like on a blunt attack, that's a hit. On an edged attack, that's a hit. Shooting attacks, it's basically you just hit the guy, right? So now on the other hand, if you get a yellow feat over here, on a blunt attack, that's a slam. On an edged attack, that's a stun. On a shooting attack, that's a bullseye. It means you hit what you were aiming for. So like if you weren't hitting the guy specifically, like maybe you're shooting something out of his hand, that means you hit what you were trying to hit. Throwing edged is a stun, and just throwing blunt is still a regular hit. So let's just say you're punching a guy and you get the yellow. Okay, what happens? How do you know if you slam the guy? Well, the guy you hit. Now again, you can only slam or stun someone that you can actually damage. I should really put that in there because that's important. So if you can't hurt the guy, so like if you come up and you punch the Hulk as a normal human, I don't care what you roll, you're not slamming or stunning him. It's just not going to happen. So basically, your slam result, your opponent that you hit, he has to roll an endurance feat. As you can see over here, the 1 to 10 on a white feat, basically that means he spectacularly failed against being slammed. The 1 to 10 is how many areas he goes. You roll 1d10, and whatever that dice comes up with, that's how many areas he goes. How far is an area? 44 square yards, about 1 football field. So yeah, you can knock a guy about 10 football fields like this. On the other hand, if he rolls a green on his endurance feat, that's only 1 area. He only gets knocked 1 football field. On the other hand, if he rolls a yellow or red, he doesn't go anywhere. He stays right there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the stun chart. Oh, I'm getting old. So yes, that's the stun chart. So if you'd have rolled a red feat on your punching him, then that's what he'd roll to be stunned. Slams are over here. So the GR slam, that's a grand slam. That's basically the same as this. You roll 1d10 and that's how many areas he flies. The green is 1 area, like I said before. Yellow is a stagger. It's kind of like you hit him and you force him to his knee. But basically, nothing really bad happens. He just doesn't go anywhere. And then, of course, the red, same thing. He doesn't go anywhere. So basically, that's the stun and slam. And as far as the kill thing, we'll get to that in a minute. Because, well, I guess we might as well talk about it now here. So if you get a kill result, so like Wolverine uses claws and Deadpool uses swords, those are technically edged attacks, as you can see up here. So if you roll a white feat, you miss, big surprise. Green feat, you hit your target. Yellow feet is a stun. We already talked about stuns. And the red feet, that's a kill. So basically, if they were to come up to Peter and say he got stabbed, Peter would have to roll a endurance feat against kill if they roll a yellow or red. Well, against a red, let me be specific. So if Peter rolls a white feat on his endurance feat against the kill result, he starts to lose endurance ranks. So basically, just say you're an average human, you got typical endurance. So here you see typical right here. He rolls on this chart. So if he rolls any of this from 50 or less on a percentile die, then he's going to lose endurance ranks. So the next round, his endurance goes down to 4. And then I believe he has to roll again. If he fails this roll, which is now 55 or less, if he rolls, then he loses another endurance rank, bringing him down to feeble. And then basically, if you get yourself down to shift 0, that's considered, well, you're not quite dead. You're really close. So basically, at this point, someone with the first aid or medicine skill has to come along. Now, they can come along before that, and if they roll good enough, they can stop that endurance loss. And you will recover that endurance, I think, a month in game time or something like that. Now, that's endurance loss. Now, as for the green result, E/S, that's, I'm going to have to actually look that one up because we never, ever come up to that one. Let me zip on back up here. There we are, life, death. Let's see if I can find it here. Consciousness, no, okay, it must be in the other parts of the feats. It's in with the feats. Here we are. Okay. So we want kill. Here we are, kill. The ES indicates the character is affected as an endurance loss only if the method of attack was edged and in slugfest or shooting attack. Any other attack form is considered no effect. Okay, so basically it's an endurance loss if the attack was edged, slugfest, or shooting. So, okay, that's what that means. Okay. That one almost never comes up, so when I play, so. And then, of course, if he rolls a yellow or red, he doesn't lose any endurance ranks, which is a good thing. So, all right, so now you kind of understand the chart. So now we're going to go back. Should have wrote that page down, but someone's dumb and doesn't do that. Okay. Well, that's movement. We know. Oh, here we are. Combat. So combat in this game, basically, there are several types. You have slugfest combat, that's your fist punching people. Excuse me. And then you have ranged attacks, that's like your guns, your energy blasts, things like that. There are range modifiers, of course. Wrestling, this is grappling, you have your holds and all this and that. Grabbing attacks are other ones. Charging attacks, we already kind of talked about that with endurance. Defensive actions, you have dodging. Basically, you roll your agility. And basically, there's a chart there. It says -2, -4, -6. That's how many column shifts you take off the attack when you dodge. Of course, you roll a white feat, you don't take anything off. Okay? So basically, that takes up your dice actions. You don't get to do anything except dodge. Evading is kind of the same thing, but instead of taking damage off, if you evade on a green feat, the attack misses you. If you evade on, I believe, a yellow feat, you get a +1 column shift. We'll look at the chart in a minute. You'll get a +1 column shift the next round when you're attacking your opponent because you moved and because he kind of, it kind of puts him in a spot where he's more compromised. And then on the red feet, I think it's +2 column shifts. So it's actually pretty good. A block we already talked about. And we already know slam, stun, and kill. Excuse me, just one moment. Dry throat. Okay, so now that we got kind of the effects of combat down, let's look at the people. I'm going to bring this back down here. So dodging, like I said, -2, -4, -6. And Where is evading? Here it is, evading. Evasion +1, +2, like I said. So, okay, so now we're going to look at Wolverine. So, in order for Wolverine to hit Deadpool, you take a look at Wolverine, he has incredible fighting. Okay? Now, regardless of weapon, it's a fighting feat. Now, Wolverine has incredible. Let's come down here and look at his skills. He has military, espionage. He has martial arts B, C, D, and E. Martial arts B is kind of like boxing. Basically, if he wants to punch a guy, keyword punch, then he adds 1 column shift to his fighting, making it an amazing feat to hit somebody. Okay? Now, again, this is with punching people. Martial arts C is kind of like your judo attacks. It adds 1 to your agility feat for escapes and 1 to your strength feats, I believe, for blocking. Martial arts D, if you watch your opponent for 2 rounds of combat, it allows you to actually bypass their body armor, meaning you can, basically they don't get any protection anymore. Now, whether you just watch them or if you're actually engaged with them, doesn't matter, 2 rounds. Martial arts E adds 1 to your initiative, okay? So, in the prior example, Wolverine rolls a 5 for initiative. He gets +1 because of his martial arts E, and another +6 because of his intuition. So, that puts him at an initiative of 12. So, yes, Wolverine's pretty fast in this game. So, now, like I said, he's using his claws. So, let's look at his claws. What's it say here? Wolverine has 3-foot-long claws of solid adamantium, a class 1000 material against living targets. Wolverine wields his claws for excellent edge damage. Now, this isn't going to be the case for every one of these Wolverines. I can tell you that now. If we go by this one, Wolverine uses both claws to skewer Deadpool. Now, I can tell you in this game, when you roll for multiple attacks, that's hitting someone more than once. Basically, you're not supposed to hit more than one. You can, how can I say? You're not supposed to hit the same person twice. It's more for multiple opponents, you know, because if you read the comics, you know, guy jumps into a group of bad guys, you know, here's a punch for this guy, here's a kick for that guy, this guy gets a flip, you know, like that, right? It's for multiple opponents, not multiple hits on one guy. But in a one-on-one situation, who else are you going to hit, right? So basically, some GMs who play this game or run this game, they say, okay, they're going to throw that rule out the window. You can use your multiple attacks on whatever you want. Hitting a guy 3 times if you want, or 2 times, or whatever. Okay, so he hit him twice, in theory. So we're going to do what they did in the movie. We're going to throw the rule out. It's one-on-one fight. So that means Wolverine has to roll for 2 attacks. You don't get it automatically. You got to roll for it. So, how do you roll for multiple attacks? Let's go back to our chart. So, Wolverine has incredible fighting right here. And I'm sorry this is sideways. It's just the way the PDF is. So, 2 attacks is a remarkable intensity feat. Now, incredible here is higher than remarkable. So, it's a yellow feat on remarkable. So, if you have higher, then it's a green. Okay? Now, if you want to attack a guy 3 times, it's an amazing intensity feat. Which means for old Wolverine here, if he wants to hit someone on amazing, he's got to roll a red feat on incredible. Because a red feat brings it up 1 column shift. So you see here, a red feat on incredible makes a yellow amazing. It does not make a green monstrous. Let me stop you right there. Okay? So, yes. It means... So, a green to make 2 attacks and a red to make 3 attacks. In the movie, he did 2 attacks. He attacked with both claws. So that means he needed to roll for 2 attacks, which means on Incredible, all he had to roll was this right here. A 31 or higher. Pretty easy to do on percentile dice, right? You can roll 31 or higher. That's like a 69% chance to succeed. So let's just say he does it, because that's what he did in the movie. Wolverine, by this one right here, it says against living targets, which Deadpool is alive, he does excellent edged attack. Now, how much damage Deadpool takes will depend on how much damage, on how good Wolverine rolls. So if Wolverine over here hits him with the green feat, the 31, right? As you can see on Incredible here, Wolverine fights at Incredible. Now, he got the 2 attacks. Now he's going to take his swings. He'll attack twice, once with each hand. Now, if Wolverine rolls 2 green feats, okay, so say he rolls 36 through 65. Those are green feats. Now remember, it's edged attack. So we look at edge attack, it's a hit. Okay, so Deadpool takes 20 and 20, which is 40 damage. We'll get to Deadpool in a minute. Now, on the other hand, if he rolled 2 yellows on Incredible, then Deadpool still takes that 40 points of damage, and then he would have to roll 2 stun checks. Now, if Wolverine hit him with a green and a yellow, then Deadpool only has to make 1 stun check, but he still takes the 40 damage. If Wolverine rolls a white and a yellow, again, 1 stun check with the 40, and then 1 miss. So only the 20 points of damage. So, now on the other hand, if Wolverine rolls a kill result, then Deadpool has to make a roll on the kill table. And instead of taking 20 points of damage, it goes up 1 column shift to 30 points of damage. So that's kind of how the chart works. That's how the dice rolls. So to keep things simple, we're going to say that everybody rolls halfway through, 50, okay? So Wolverine makes his multiple attacks, he gets a thing. So Wolverine rolls for his attacks, 50, that's 2 green feats. So Deadpool initially is going to take 20 and 20, which is 40 points of damage. So I'm going to go to my X forces, where Deadpool is. Now let's take a look at Deadpool. Now Deadpool was laying on the ground prone. Can't talk today. So he's laying on the ground prone. Now he can still dodge or evade, but that's not what happened in the movie. Let's say he tried and he rolled a white feat. That means it's an automatic hit. He got hit. So let's take a look here. Deadpool has the following equipment. Body armor. Deadpool's costume provides good protection from energy and physical attacks. So that means, now good is 10. So that means instead of taking 20 from each claw, Deadpool's only taking 10. So he basically just halved his damage. So Deadpool now, whose health is at 90, now his health is down 20. So he's down to 70 health after that 1 attack. Okay? Then in the next scene, now Wolverine has him held up, and he's talking, and then Deadpool cracks a joke, and Wolverine goes, "Oh, jokes, right?" And then he stabs him again, and then puts him over his knee for a backbreaker. So once again, Wolverine's rolling for multiple attacks, and he's going to stab him again for another 10 points, and then he's going to give him a backbreaker, which is basically kind of like we're going to call it a slugfest. It's kind of kneeing him. So Wolverine, we got to look at it again. So Wolverine here has good strength. So that's the damage his fists do. Now let's take a look at his adamantium skeleton a minute now. Wolverine's skeleton is somehow impregnated with molecules of adamantium. He has +1 column shift in damage in blunt, charging, and any combat that uses his body as a weapon. He may stun or slam any opponent that he can damage. That means on a green feat, he can stun and slam. So, it also means that he's +1 column shift to damage. His strength of good now hits at excellent 20. Just as hard as his claws now. So now, guess what? Deadpool now takes another 20 points of damage. 10 from the stab and 10 from the backbreaker. And then Wolverine pushes him off. So then, after that, Deadpool talks some more. Wolverine gets mad. And Wolverine picks him up and throws him. Now, Deadpool probably weighs as much as a regular good-shaped human being. Probably somewhere around, I'm going to say around 250 pounds. But that puts him in the good weight intensity. So, Wolverine, who has good strength, can pick him up with a yellow strength feat. Now, in order to get a yellow strength feat on good, we have to go to good here. So Wolverine needs to roll a 76 or higher to pick Deadpool up over his head, to lift him, basically. So basic now, maybe he'd only need a green, maybe to throw him over his shoulder and carry him. Okay, so that's how it is. Now that he's picked him up, now obviously he didn't roll a green feat to pick him up. But, so obviously he rolled a yellow feat in the movie. So now he's going to throw it. So he throws him, we have to go to the throwing. Technically, Deadpool's body's considered blunt, so we go to the throwing blunt chart. Now Wolverine's going to throw him. Now, he does throw him into something. Now, whether that was on purpose or by accident, we don't know. Let's just say it was on purpose. So Wolverine throws him at something. What happens when you throw something at something else? Well, the something being thrown is considered to be charging the thing they're being thrown into. Now, Wolverine throws it. Now, again, one area is 44 square yards, which is one football field. So he didn't go that far, okay, into the object. So a charging attack, basically, you do your endurance damage, and I believe it's +2 for every area you travel through before you hit it. He looked like he hit the thing in the same area he was in, so it's Deadpool's endurance of excellent 20 versus whatever he hit. Now, I'm going to tell you now, I did not get a good look at what he hit. I couldn't really tell what it was, so we're going to play around a little bit with this. I'm going to show you some other material strengths to give you a little idea here. As soon as I can find her. It's close. Close, I know it. Oh, maybe I'm not that close. Here we are. So, updated material strength table, okay? So let's just say he throws Deadpool through a glass window. As you can see here, glass has feeble material strength. So it would be, when Deadpool gets thrown through the glass, Deadpool would do 20 points of damage to the glass, and the glass would do 2 points of damage to Deadpool. Deadpool stops 10 points of damage because of his suit. He would take no damage from the glass. So Deadpool would get thrown through glass and take no damage from that. Now, on the other hand, if you threw Deadpool into bricks, bricks have good material strength, which is 10 points of damage. So if he'd have thrown Deadpool into bricks, you get the same result. Deadpool would take no damage, and he'd do 20 points to the bricks, which the bricks get their material strength and body armor, so the bricks would only take 10 points of damage, but that's all the bricks would have for health, is their endurance of 10. On the other hand, if he'd have thrown, if Colossus were standing there in his metal form, who's made of osmium steel, then Deadpool would do 20 points to Colossus, but Colossus has amazing 50 body armor, so he wouldn't do any damage to Colossus, and Deadpool would take 50 points of damage from hitting Colossus, minus his 10, would take 40. So this is why charging attacks get a little gambly. So it depends on what you're getting thrown into. Now, again, like I said, I couldn't tell what he got thrown into. He went through it and then past it a little ways, maybe one more area. So I'm going to say Wolverine threw him one area through an object, and I'm going to say that Wolverine and Deadpool took no damage because it didn't look like he took a lot of damage. I mean, he kind of looked like he took some, but, you know, so it looks to me like maybe he got thrown through concrete, maybe. That's excellent material strength. So we could say he took another 10 points of damage. So if you're tallying up the damage, he got stabbed twice by Wolverine initially for 20 points. He got stabbed a third time and then kneed for another 20 points. That's 40. And then he just got thrown through a barrier and then hit the ground for another 10 points. He's up to 50 points of damage, and he has 90 health, okay? Now, this is where we start to get the big fight scene, when they start to play the music. So now, oh no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I forgot a spot. Before he gets thrown through, when Wolverine stabs him in the nuts and does the thing, Wolverine basically stabs him a few more times. I have, see, I gotta look at Oh, okay, yeah. So basically, when Wolverine has him up in the air, stabs him again, gives him the jokes, throws him on the ground after that. I think he picks him up again, and then Deadpool... Oh, no. He starts walking away, and then Deadpool starts talking some smack, and then Wolverine stabs him from behind again with both claws. Poor Deadpool. So that would put Deadpool up another 20, putting him at 80 points of damage. But what Deadpool did do before he got thrown was he backflipped on Wolverine, drug him to the ground, and pulled out his gun and shot him multiple times. I have 5 times from each gun. It happened really fast. I don't know if it's an accurate count. So let's take a look at Deadpool to see if he has any guns. Let's see. Bolos, bow staff, cluster bombs, long swords, throwing stars. I don't see any guns there. So let's go on to the main book here and let's go look up some guns, which are in the equipment section. Here we are, guns. Now, I'm not sure what kind of guns he has exactly. You have cheap handguns here, handgun pistol, target pistol, variable pistol, gyrojet pistols, laser pistols, stun pistols, concussion pistols. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a concussion, stun, or laser pistol. It didn't look, I don't know, I don't think it's a gyrojet pistol. Maybe a variable that can take special ammunition. So it's hard to say, but if you look at the damage, they all do about typical. Okay, so now Wolverine, his adamantium skeleton. Let's take a look at that again. So basically, he's +1 CS to damage. Now it doesn't give him any body armor. He has no protection from damage whatsoever, except when he's being punched. So basically, that means he's going to take the full. So 5 from each gun, maybe 10 shots per gun. 10 times 6 is 60. Okay. Now, of course, Deadpool would have to use shooting damage. So that's an agility feat. Deadpool's agility is excellent. Against, so here's excellent. Does Deadpool have the guns talent? Let's see. Martial arts A, B, C, and E. Military, sharp, and throwing weapons. He does not. So he's just using his agility. So using his excellent agility, he shoots Wolverine. Let's come over here to the shooting column. Greens are hits, yellows are bullseyes, reds are kills. Now, the thing about Wolverine is even if you get a kill result, he has this power here, recovery. Should Wolverine lose endurance ranks, he may recover 1 per day, provided he makes an unearthly feat roll. So this is where unearthly is, way up here. So a feat roll, unearthly feat intensity means he needs yellow, which comes up here. What is that, 51? Yeah. He needs a 51 or higher if he starts losing endurance. Now that's 1 per day. Or is that, remember what I said? Anyone else has to wait a month? It might be a week, but either way, it's a long time. So yes, that's how fast. And this is the power that stops him from dying. This is what keeps Wolverine from dying. Okay, this power right here. Recovery. All right. So let's take a look at the recovery power, because I want to show you. Let's see. Here we are. There in the red. Let's see if I can find it now. I just need to find it. Regenerate. Oh, there it is. Recovery. So the hero with this power recovers from losses of endurance ranks at a rate of 1 rank per day, and makes a power rank feat to regain the lost rank. The hero with this power may choose any, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, regeneration, which is what Wolverine also has, the hero with this power heals faster than the normal rate of endurance ranks per day. So basically, if you get punched by the Hulk and take 100 points of damage, after 1 whole day, you'll get your endurance rank back. So for Wolverine, after 1 day, he would get 30. And for Deadpool, after 1 day, he'd get 20. Now you see with regeneration, Wolverine gets this back every 10 turns, which is 1 minute. So Wolverine actually gets back 30 points of health every minute. So after 3 minutes, he's full, technically 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, he's fully healed from getting punched by the Hulk. Okay? Now, we've already seen the damage Deadpool has been taking. Now, let's further read. Okay? Every 10 turns. Providing the hero does not take additional damage in that time and is able to rest. So, neither one of these guys have been taking time to rest. They've been on the attack. They've been fighting. So, neither one is regenerating at the moment. Yes, I know. I've seen the movies. They regenerate while taking damage. I'm telling you, this is the game, alright? Alright, a hero resting cannot engage in any other actions while healing himself. If that rest is interrupted, 14 ninjas of the hand rush in on turn 9 of his rest, the hero starts all over again, okay? That's what it says right there. You're reading it in black and white, okay? So, that means Deadpool, who's been constantly taking damage, isn't healing. Also, take a look. Do you see regeneration or recovery here? You don't. Now, I will remind you again, this game came out in 1986. Maybe in 1986 in the comics, Deadpool didn't have all that. I don't know. I never read the comics. If you want information on that, go hit up your buddy Gary Bueller from nerdrotic.com. He could probably tell you if he had it or not. So, I'm just going by what the game says, so we're going with that. So, basically, Wolverine has done 80 points of damage to Deadpool. Deadpool's done 60 points of damage to Wolverine so far. And then Wolverine throws him through the thing, blah, blah, blah. We've already covered that damage. Okay, now. Alright, so. This is when we get the cue up to the big thing where Deadpool says, alright, nerds, get your special sock out, blah, blah, blah. They're on each side. Deadpool reloads his guns and he shoots at Wolverine a couple more times. It sounded like 3 shots, but again, it happened fast. I'm going to say 2 shots per gun to give Deadpool a chance here. So Deadpool shoots him 4 more times for another 24 damage. So Wolverine is now up to 84 damage. How much health does Wolverine have? 110. So they're both looking pretty beat up at this point. Wolverine gets up there and he slashes what looks like both of his guns. Now, basically, Wolverine's claws. Now, this is a non-living object. So, we're going to take a look at his claws. Now, it just says it says a class 1 material. And it says against, it doesn't say how much damage he does normally. So, let's see if one of these other ones say what it does. Let's see if this Wolverine, let's see, claws. Yeah. Now it says here, the 3 claws on the back of each hand can be used to do up to monstrous damage on the edge attack column. Unless he wishes to kill his human opponent, Wolverine normally will strike for no more than excellent. So you see, it says here he can do up to monstrous. Let's check the Uncanny X-Men one and see what that says. Wolverine claws, monstrous damage edge attacks. He can choose to inflict less damage, as it's already said. The X-Force's Wolverine. Oh, we got to go down a bit. Here we go. Let's see, claws. This one kind of says what the main one says, excellent damage. So, since he is attacking the guns, we'll say he's going to do... Oops. I went a little too far here. The old Deadpool here. Come on. One more page. There we go. Okay, so Wolverine's got 84 damage. Deadpool didn't take any damage from Wolverine hitting his guns. But his guns, we have to look up their material strength real quick. It's magic. We don't want magic. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so guns. Alright, so material strength, poor, excellent, excellent, excellent. So, Wolverine will do 75 points of damage to something that has 20 body armor and 20 health. So, obviously, he'll slash the guns with 1 shot, doing monstrous damage. So, very easy to make that happen. Now, basically, Wolverine comes at Deadpool some more, he does some evading, and then he gets his swords out. Now, in the movie, it said he has adamantium swords. So that means instead of Deadpool's normal swords, which are excellent material strength, they're now class 1000 material strength, just like Wolverine's skeleton and claws. So this means neither one of them are likely going to be able to break the other's weapon because neither one can do the damage to do that. So we have some attacking and some parrying and all this and that. They get a few more shots in. I got to look at my paper to see who gets the first ones in. So it says here Wolverine stabs Deadpool about 4 more times. So Deadpool, who's only got 10 health left, would go down at that. Now you see this would take Wolverine a minimum of 2 rounds to pull off. So this is where the movie becomes very inaccurate with the RPG, but the movie's not based off the RPG, so don't worry about it. So we've already established that if we go by what the movie has shown, Wolverine has won this fight. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. So this video is getting kind of long. We're at 41 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one, and then we'll talk about the next fight, and we'll go from there. So I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.